It is time now for today's Strawberry Letter. And if you need advice on relationships, work, sex, parenting, and more, please submit your Strawberry Letter to steveharveyfm.com and click Submit Strawberry Letter. We could be reading your letter live on the air, just like we're going to read this one right here, right now. And you never know, it could be yours.
It could be yours. Buckle up and hold on tight. We got it for you. Here it is. Strawberry Letter.
All right, nephew. Thank you. Subject, don't rock the boat. Dear Steve and Shirley, I'm 28 and I've been married for 2 years. My parents have been married for almost 40 years. They are my example of how a marriage should be, but there are some things that I'm doing differently in my marriage. For example, my dad did not want my mom to work. I work 2 jobs so I can buy what I want to buy without asking my husband. My mother had to ask my dad before she spent money. She's also not listed on the mortgage. I bought my house and added my husband on the deed. My mom has never been to a club, bar, or anything like that. I grew up in the club and I still go out with my girlfriends on special occasions. I also had other lovers before I met my husband, but I'm sure that my dad is the only man that my mother has ever been with. I can't imagine getting married without experiencing other men first. So I wanted to have a great marriage like my parents, but I wanted the new improved version. My dad always says that I'm nothing like my mom when it comes to being settled and married. I agree. On Sunday, he said it again, and then our discussion got heated. He said my husband doesn't like my slick mouth, and he's tired of me working so much. My dad said I have a good man, and then he yelled, "Don't rock the boat." My husband came into the room and just stood there. He told my dad to relax, and he looked at me and said that's not exactly what he told my dad. I can't believe that he talked to my dad about our marriage, and now it's messed up my relationship with my parents because I went off on my dad. Why would my husband create drama like this? And what does rock the boat even mean? It's old-fashioned BS to me. What should I do? Well, it's not a shock to me that your husband and your dad talk about you. That's not a shock. I mean, that is the one thing they have in common is you. You never know. Your husband may go to your dad for advice or, they talk about a lot of other things too, but the one thing they do talk about is you. That's what they have in common. And just because they talk doesn't mean it's something negative all the time, but it sounds like your husband confided in your dad about something your dad couldn't wait to snitch. And obviously your dad has a problem with you and how your lifestyle is, because this is not the first time he's brought up this subject to you. He probably is old-fashioned and thinks you should be more like your mom, but that's not you. You laid out who you are and what you wanted in your marriage in this letter and how you didn't want to have to ask your husband for money like your mom did. And that's okay. That's why you want a new and improved version of your mom and mom and dad's almost 40-year marriage. In other words, you respect what your parents have, but you just want to update it a bit. So your dad was out of line for repeating a conversation about you having a slick mouth and working so much. Why is your dad even in this? Because he thinks you're going to lose your man, obviously, and you're his daughter. I know he wants to help, but no, Dad, you got to stay out of this. Has your husband said anything directly to you about it? Because that's who you're married to. Well, I guess he did, but not exactly what your dad said he said. So you and your husband need to talk, see if he has a problem with you working 2 jobs, and see if he has a problem with your mouth. Do you still spend quality time together? Do you still get together? Or are you too busy because of work? Because that's what will cause issues in your marriage. You and your husband need to check your temperature in your marriage and just apologize to your dad for going off on him, please. If he's old-fashioned, like you say, he's probably stubborn too, and he's not going to apologize to you first, and you don't want that. Steve?
This letter is extremely long, and there's a whole lot of nothing in this letter. But I see something different. I see a young lady that's doing the most, and she wants to justify it. And now your husband thinks you're doing the most, so he went and talk to your daddy about it. That's what this is. You're 28, you've been married for a couple of years, your parents was married for 40, but you all have a different relationship, you wanted it. Your dad didn't want your mom to work. You got 2 jobs, so you can buy whatever you want without asking your husband, because your mom had to ask your dad whenever she wanted to spend money. That I understand. I'm okay with that. You can do whatever you want to do. She's also not listed on the mortgage. On the other hand, she went and bought her house. Then he added her husband to the deed. Okay, that's one. My mom never been to a club, bar, or anything like that. I grew up in the club. You ain't but 28. And I still go out with my girlfriends on special occasions. I've also had other lovers before I met my husband, but I'm sure that my dad was the only man that my mother has ever been with. I can't imagine getting married without experiencing other men first. Okay, what is this letter about?
Read on.
No. You saying that your daddy shouted out, "Don't rock the boat," but you're giving us a lot of information about what? Your sexual freedom, your ability to make all your own choices. Ain't nobody got no problem with that. Your mama ain't never been to a club. You grew up in the club. You've had several lovers. You can imagine being married, just loving one. Okay. But what is your letter about? All right, here we go. I met my husband, but I'm sure that my dad is the only man that my mother has ever been with. I can't imagine getting married. So I wanted to have a great marriage like my parents, but I wanted the new and improved version. Okay. So that's what you want now. The new and improved version.
Hang on,
all
Steve.
Right.
Hang on.
Find out what that is in a minute.
Yeah, we'll have part 2 of your response coming up at 23 minutes after the hour. Today's Strawberry Letter subject, don't rock the boat. We'll get back into it right after this. You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Do you ever notice your floors still look dirty even after you mop? Power Mop gives you a deeper clean you can see and feel. Unlike stream mops, Swiffer Power Mop absorbs more dirt and locks it away, even in hard-to-reach places like behind the toilet. The new micro scrubbers deliver thousands of tiny deep cleaning actions for results that look, smell, and feel clean. No more dirty floors. Try the Swiffer Power Mop. Love it or your money back.
All right, come on, Steve. Let's recap today's Strawberry Letter. The subject is don't rock the boat.
Well, this 28-year-old lady's been married 2 years. Her parents were married for 40 years. And she says they were my example of how a marriage should be. Okay. But then every example she gave goes counter to that one. For example, my dad didn't want my mom to work. Okay, this young lady has 2 jobs, so she could buy whatever she wants without asking her husband, because this marriage that she wants to have an example of, because her mother used to have to ask her dad before she spent money. Okay, so you've counted that example of that similarity. She's also not listed on the mortgage. I bought my house and added my husband to the deed. Okay, so this is the 40-year marriage that you want to make an example out of, but you want the new version. My mom never been to a club or a bar, anything like that. I grew up in the club. I go all the time, and I still hang out with my girlfriends on occasion. Also, your mom was only with one man before she got married. That was your dad. You, on the other hand, I've had other lovers before I met my husband. I'm sure my father was the only one my mother had ever been with. I can't imagine getting married without experiencing other men first. Okay, you did that. Okay. This whole letter, you're contradicting this incredible 40-year marriage that you wanted to pattern yourself after. So I want to have a great marriage like my parents, but I wanted the new and improved version. Okay, so now you have it. My dad always says I'm nothing like my mom when it comes to being settled and married. I agree. On Sunday, he said it again. Then our discussion got heated. He said my husband don't like my slick mouth and he tired of me working so much. My dad said I have a good man, and then he yelled, "Don't rock the boat." My cousin came into the room and just stood there. He told my dad to relax, and he looked at me and said, "That's not exactly what he told my dad." I can't believe that he talked to my dad about our marriage and how it's messed up my relationship with my parents. Wait a minute. Here's what happened. You doing the most to your husband. Your husband didn't know how to breach the subject with you, so he went to your father. He's tired of you working so much because you're going away from the house all the time. And he's tired of your slick mouth because you just talking, because you telling him what you're doing. Just like you told us. My mama had one man. There's no way I'm going to get married without testing the market, so you had several lovers. Okay, cool. You did that. You want 2 jobs, you won't buy what you want to buy. So I'm pretty sure you're saying this to your husband. He didn't talk to your dad about it. I can't believe he talked to my dad about our marriage, and now it's messed up my relationship with my parents because I went off on my dad. For what? Why would my husband create drama like this, and what does rock the boat even mean? It's old-fashioned BS to me. What should I do? Well, the old-fashioned BS is coming from that old-fashioned marriage that your mama and your daddy had that you said you wanted to emulate, but you're doing everything differently. Don't rock the boat means don't get things unsettled in your house that don't have to be. Example, you're working a lot. Them 2 jobs keep you away from home all the time. Okay, all right. Idle mind is the devil's playground. You ain't at the house. How long you think your husband gonna sit there waiting on you? You're talking crazy to him, I can tell. Cause, your dad done said he getting tired of your husband getting tired of your slick mouth. Okay, so lady, what? Come on now. You've been married for 2 years and you want the new version of the marriage. Well, the marriage will basically always remain the same. Basically. Now, there are some new innovations being added to it, but that's because there's some innovations you all brought into it. Nobody says a woman can't work anymore because you're working. But you got 2 jobs and now you ain't at home. So if you ain't at home tending to your husband, who is? I think this has been a warning, and you should heed the warning. You think don't rock the boat is some old-fashioned BS. Don't rock the boat. Don't tilt the boat over. You could be with your slick mouth. You could be emasculating your man. Of course, you're not going to put that in the letter, but you kind of write kind of strong, though. I can't see myself being with no one man before I get married, so I done had several. I ain't gonna ask my husband what to buy, so you got 2 jobs. It's just a couple of things in this letter. Who my dad think he talking to? That's some old school mess. You want the 40-year marriage that your parents had, but you want the new and improved version. I'm gonna say this again. Marriage is basically the same. Got a few twists and wrinkles in it, in that women do work more in relationships now when that didn't used to be the case. But that's about it, lady. So your daddy's telling you not to rock the boat. You think it's some old-fashioned BS. Rock the boat, tilt the boat over. You got a good thing. You do sound like you do have a good man.
All right, leave your comments on today's Strawberry Letter on Instagram and Facebook at Steve Harvey FM. And check us out on the Strawberry Letter podcast on the free iHeartRadio app. Coming up next, it is Junior and Sports Talk right after this.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I used to be the kind of brother that thought I would never slow down. I used to swear that I don't even care what happens, but baby, right now. Yo, what up? It's your boy, Jaheim.
Hey, this is Tyler Perry.
Hi, this is Taraji P. Henson.
This is your boy, Sid the Entertainer.
This is Yolanda Adams.
What's up? It's DJ Khaled, and you're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show. There's morning shows, and there's the greatest, Steve Harvey Morning Show. Another one.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.